Check. Check. I don't even know if anybody can hear me right now. Hey, can anybody hear me? Oh, I haven't live streamed so long. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. We got David Smith and Angler. Young Peasy, can you hear me? I haven't live streamed in so long. I'm kind of like relearning how to use the buttons. Oh. Really, I'm just on here fucking around again. Every time I get on here, it's more me trying to figure out how to even use this shit than anything else. But I can play. All right, cool. You guys can hear me. I'm gonna try to put the StreamYard link in here if you guys want to come in, because this is just me shooting the shit. I don't really have a topic. I'm just fucking around. I gotta figure out how to invite guests, copy. Okay. How the fuck do I put the StreamYard link in the fucking... Oh, okay, here we go. There you go. Yeah, if you guys want to come in, you can come in. Basically, I'm just trying, because I used to do live streams on my laptop, but it's a pain in the ass. It's like way fucking easier to just get on my phone and do it. I don't use Discord. I'm like I'm like a boomer, dude. I'm, I don't fucking I don't like using new shit. But I don't even use like Facebook or anything. This is like YouTube is the only uh yeah, I mean Young Peasy did 5 years of freedom, took a break because the manosphere is sissified. Yeah, I think um I mean I feel the same way a lot of ways. Like there are a lot of cool guys in the manosphere, but it's like a lot of guys are just like I don't know. It almost seems like it's like a lot of content creators, we created content like thinking we were going to make a difference or help help people. But I just think that like modern society is so fucked. It's like pointless to try to help. That's why like I've went full retard on my channel, because it's like I don't give a shit anymore. It's I kind of just do this shit just as like a hobby for fun now. I'm not really trying to save anybody. Um and I think a lot of guys are starting to feel like that. Um but I don't fucking know. I'm just some fucking guy on the internet fucking around. Let's see. I want to figure out how to see. Oh, I got a surprise for you guys. Did it just do the fart? Oh, okay. um, let's see. My God. Sorry, guys. I don't have like a planned like structure for this. Like, if you guys want to come in the StreamYard, if you guys have any questions about anything, I fucking comment on whatever. I'm just on here fucking around. Really, I want to see if I can play this video while I'm streaming.
We some real pimps, nigga. Having sex with our mom, nigga. We some real SGs, ho. For your asshole with that dildo. Have you ever put your finger so far up your butt that your daddy got turned on and he called you a slut? Started twisting on your titties and farting in your mouth. Put this finger in his butthole while he fucking the couch. Watch my mouth pussy taste like the dog's dick. Like the dog's dick. Watch my mouth pussy taste like the dog's dick. Like the dog's dick. Cows go moo while I'm milking on the tits. Horses neigh while I'm sucking on the dicks. Shit gets real on my daddy's farm. I put animal semen in my Lucky Charms. Grandma's queen, second wing in the wind. Get it, granny. Show what you got with them pussy farts, bitch. At my daddy's farm, he got pigs, cows, and sheep. We be putting our dicks in them super fucking deep. We some real pimps, nigga. Having sex with our mom, nigga. We some real SGs, ho. For your asshole with that dildo. Watch my mouth pussy taste like the dog's dick. Like the dog's dick. Watch my mouth pussy taste like the dog's dick. Like the dog's dick. Cows go moo while I'm milking on the tits. Horses neigh while I'm sucking on the dicks. Shit gets real on my daddy's farm. I put animal semen in my Lucky Charms. Grandma's queen, second wing in the wind. Get it, granny. Show what you got with them pussy farts, bitch. We some real pimps, nigga. Having sex with our mom, nigga. We some real SGs, ho. For your asshole with the dildo.
Yeah, David, I've been like a musician my whole life, like before I even started making Manosphere content. Like me and my buddies, like since I was a kid, we've always made like stupid ass rap songs, and I just figured, fuck it, I'll throw some of them on this fucking channel. But Snow Bunny Elite, are you one of these troll bitches? Is Snow Bunny Elite a woman? If she is, if you got a wrench, go ahead and get rid of her. And watch out, cause there's people making like fake profiles of guys in the Manosphere. Like I've fell for it a couple times where like they'll like take your avatar and talk shit, and like, so you got to watch out. Like yeah, thank you, David. Yeah, so like, yeah, you gotta like, you have to like click people's fucking avatars now because there's like fucking trolls. But oh shit, Real Talk's in here. What up, Real Talk? I put the StreamYard link if you want to come in. I'm just fucking around, dude. I don't really have a topic. I mean, it's pretty open. I think I've told you guys before, I work night shift, so like I'm always up fucking late as fuck. Let me see. How do I? Yeah, anybody that wants to come in, we can talk about fucking whatever, dude. I wasn't even for sure gonna do a live stream. I was just fucking around with StreamYards because I haven't been on here in a while. And then like all of a sudden I seen comments on here. For some reason, like it, like just me getting on StreamYard, just fucking with it, it fucking like automatically like showed on YouTube that I was on here. So I just figured I didn't want to tease you guys, so I fucking hopped on. Big ups to Young Peasy and Ghost. Quick check in before getting some sleep. What up? 5 years of freedom. People were asking about you earlier in the stream. Nobody wants you to leave, but we get it. You can come on here too and bullshit if you want. But if you gotta go to sleep, I totally get it. I'm just fucking around, really. I'm trying to, like, oh, I got somebody in here. Real Talk's in here. Let me add him to the stream.
Yo, how you doing, man?
Good, what up, bro? What are you doing?
Shit, working that late night shift, that graveyard shit.
Oh,
Same,
you work
same
nights
as you.
too? Oh yeah, wage slavery is awesome.
Yeah, man. I think your perspective is something that a lot of dudes just got to wrap their mind around because just coming to that realization, dude, is just like I think that's more freedom than anything, accepting that you're a slave.
Yeah, well, it's just like if everyone accepts we're slaves, eventually, you know, eventually something's got to give. Or
Yeah.
maybe not. Maybe we're just fucked. Maybe it's just
I'm
this.
a hustler, always on my grind, taking hella dicks up my loose behind.
Hey, that shit's top bar none. There's nothing funnier than that. I mean, you got some real good shit, bro. But like that right there, when the dude's on the hamster wheel, I'm sorry, but like, I think every dude who pounds his chest in with his ego in the manosphere, who has a big channel, they should be forced to watch that as soon as they wake up.
Yeah, I was watching this guy. He has a channel. I think it's called Flirting with Disaster. And he did this video talking about how the system is a scam and like how like what you just said, like anybody that wants to walk around and like act cool, like beating their chest, like how talking about how big their dick is or how much money they got. It's like, dude, we're all a bunch of fucking slaves getting fucked in the ass by the government. Like none of us are fucking cool, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day who, you know, his I don't know, you could call it his wife left him or some shit, and he was down in the dumps, and he's slowly but surely like getting his head out of his ass, and he's a boomer, so it's just like, you know, they think about love and conceptualize shit, and we were just talking about shit, and he's just like, and I'm like we have the means, him and I, my brother, a few other dudes in like my area who are, you know, sound mind, they know what's going on. Like we have the means to survive if we cooperate. Like it really doesn't matter what happens. I think we got enough like manpower and resource to like have the basic necessities of living and security and all that other shit. So it's like it's cool to meet up with a fellow slave to say, hey, you know, if the shit hits the fan, are we gonna starve? Are we gonna get killed? Or you know what I'm saying? Like you can talk about things like that, but it has to be from the perspective of a fucking slave to be humble, you know? Humbling yourself is very important when you accept your slavery.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, us like the slave masters, like they want us to think that we're not slaves. Like that's why like hustle and grind hip hop culture is so popular. They want you to think that if you fucking run faster on the hamster wheel, you're going to be able to get off of it. But that's not how it is.
Yeah,
It's
there's
like,
a lot of economy simps that
yeah,
want you to invest in the economy, the stock market, dividends, bonds. It's like, God, man, where do you retards come from?
well, it really is literally slavery, dude, because we work for money that they can control the fucking buying power of, like this inflation, the bank bailouts and all that shit. It's like, what's the point of hustling and grinding if some fucking Jew can change the value of my dollar by
We'll say
printing all.
supposed Jew, because we there's a lot of evidence that these people aren't who they say they are.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, though. It's just
Yeah,
like that's where I'm at with it, dude. Like, you got a lot of people that like still want to like, oh, we're gonna get them in the polls or we're gonna fucking protest. It's like, bro, like this, everything's bought and paid for. Like, we are literally fucking slaves. Like,
yeah.
And that's why I just think it's fun to go full retard, because fuck it, dude. If there ain't nothing we can do about it, we can either cry about it or laugh about it.
Yeah. That shit I commented the other day about the ultimate red pill. Once you accept it, it turns into like a nuclear black pill, right? So I eat at this breakfast place, and I've been going in there for about 2 years, right? And I remember hearing this old dude. He'd always have like books and shit and a notebook, like he was taking notes and doing research. This guy looked like he was like 65, 70 years old, like old dude. And I heard him like talking about some shit one day, and then I started talking about like the gematria and shit, and he had never heard about that. And what he was talking about, I had never heard about. I heard about it like in brisk conversations amongst conspiracy theorists, but once I heard this shit, I didn't want to buy into it or think that it could be possible, right? Because I don't believe in shit. To believe means you got to have blind faith, and I'm not about that, because there's enough objective truth and evidence today, especially with cameras. There's a lot of shit where you can come to a conclusion if you think correctly. You don't have to believe. But long story short, have you ever heard about like the quote unquote Sumerian mythology? You know about the Sumerian people, like the first like civilization that kind of like had the first of everything. You know, they figured out how to keep track of time, mathematics, science. They had the first like court system. They had a whole bunch of first things. Have you ever heard about that culture?
No, I've heard of Sumerian records, but I've never heard of the culture.
Okay, so the Sumerian records, Sumerian culture, they're kind of all intertwined. Long story short, there's a dude in the 50s named Zachariah Sitchin. He was basically examining these cuneiform tablets that were found by, I think, a French archaeologist in the 1800s. And he took a closer look at them because, you know, history will say that the Sumerians were like the first civilization, but all the historians want to call these tablets mythology. And you got to ask yourself, Zachariah Sitchin posed the question, how the fuck does the first culture that is recorded, how in the fuck do they have mythology? Who gave them their mythology? And then he digs deeper and deeper and finds that this wasn't their mythology, this was their history. The history of the accumulation of our solar system and planetary system. It explains the asteroid belt. It explains comets. It explains Pluto. All this shit. It's like you start to look at it, and then it basically says that we came not from monkeys and apes. We came from an evolved version of that was hybrid engineered with extraterrestrial beings. And I know this sounds very, very far out there, but there is a gentleman named Lloyd Pye who took all of this research and he came at it from a genetics anthropology point of view. And he proved that through the genetic history and anthropology that they give us, there's huge gaps in the story, just like fill-ins that make no fucking sense. And I'm going to have to send you this shit, get it to you somehow so you can see it for yourself. But it pretty much lays it out that we were genetically engineered to be slaves, literally to be slaves. And the people that are running the world now, they're basically playing God over the slaves. They are slaves themselves. And it made me realize this is the ultimate red pill, but it's also the nuclear black pill. It lets you know. You can research, and then when you find something like this that has a lot of different, let's just say, evidence to prove it, to back it up. There's more evidence behind this than there is behind quote unquote evolution, coming from this little amoeba fucking bug, and then slowly but surely coming out of that primordial sludge, turning into this upright walking creature and all this bullshit. When you see this perspective, it makes you think we probably are fucking slaves that were meant to toil away our entire lives. And I just, it's funny because I came across your channel not saying I haven't paid attention to your content, but like your perspective sank in, and I'm like, man, this is the fucking nuclear bomb of black pills right here, baby.
Yeah, it is, dude. See, I don't know if it was like we were genetically engineered. I think that I was watching. You ever heard of Nietzsche, the old German philosopher?
Yeah, yeah, I've heard about him.
Well, he had this theory that like, well, like Christianity, like not the original Christianity, but modern day Christianity, basically what it is it was just a cope that slaves used to use to feel better about being slaves. I did a video about it earlier, but that's basically what has happened is like in the modern world today, like the strong are like controlled by the weak. And it's like that's how they did it, dude. They twisted the narrative of like religion and like morals and shit to basically create woke bullshit. I'm basically what you're talking about with that genetic engineering. I don't know if that was genetic engineering, but I think that like the propaganda and shit that we're seeing today, it's been going on since forever. It's just now it's like they got social media, so they're able to fucking do it more.
Yeah, they said this guy, he brought out some shit. This buddy of mine, he said religii was these tablets that were meant for sheep. The sheep, right? They call us sheeple, and it was like this is like religii. This term, there was tablets connected to it in the ancient world that was pretty much laying out shit for slaves to pay attention to. Like when I'm saying genetically engineered, it's like this. We supposedly come from primates, but every primate has 48 chromosomes. A chromosome is a shit ton of data, information, like a lot of information. We are supposedly so much better than these creatures. They have 48 chromosomes. We have 46 chromosomes. There's just like all this scientific data that when you really look at it objectively, you're like, man, that's kind of weird. Like, yeah, it does make me think a little bit more. But like I said, I'm in the beginning stages of doing this research. I got a lot more digging to do. I'd rather have the most wholesome picture for you to see. Like, maybe this is what we are engineered truly to fucking be, to toil away our entire lives. Just think about it. You go to slave school for 13,000 hours. Then after slave school, you go to college and, get in all this fucking debt. Then after college, you go and work for some big corporation. And it's like, how much time of your time is actually yours?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure, man. I don't think we're supposed to be like this. I think that it's just the people that are in control have manipulated it to be like this.
Yeah, two things I say they got everyone's minds to fall within. So you've got the women who love to be worshipped. Then they hit the wall and then they start to hate themselves. You have the men who are genetically, let's say, quote unquote, superior, who get worshipped by women, right? And then you have the men who aren't select, who aren't superior, the quote unquote simps, the betas, who hate themselves until they get enough money to be falsely worshipped by the woman. So there is no room there for the individual within the system to love oneself. It's either you hate yourself or you're getting worshipped. If you loved yourself, you wouldn't fucking hate yourself and you wouldn't do all these stupid things in this rat race. And if you love yourself, you wouldn't worship yourself thinking that you're a fucking god. You would accept, I'm an ant that could get stepped on at any fucking moment. I'm just a slave.
Yeah, for sure. Like that's like people think humility is thinking less than yourself. Humility is just thinking no one's better than me or worse than me. But that's like I'm talking like that on like a social type level. Like if you want to look at it like on just a like nature stronger survival of the fittest type thing, like there's definitely people that are better than other people. And
Yeah.
that's what I was talking about with Nietzsche is like in the modern Western world, we feel like like we don't see anything wrong with like a lion killing a gazelle, but if a dominant person takes advantage or dominates somebody in our civilization, the woke police show up. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that he's saying like basically what he was saying is like if you try to restrict the stronger people, you're going to end up with a more dysfunctional society than you would if you just let them, you know what I mean? Like let the weak fucking fall to the wayside.
Yeah, being a loser, losing, especially you probably saw it with sports. They started handing out the participation trophies, right? Like the kids' parents were complaining that, hey, this kid who's genetically gifted and that team of genetically gifted kids keeps pounding the snot out of my little fucking biscuit grabber here, who's looks like an 8-ounce pop can. He's getting dunked on, so I'm gonna complain so he can become a winner overnight through politics and bureaucracy. It's like the moment that you take the feeling of being a loser away from society, they don't have that desire deep down to want to fight back and to be better.
Yeah, for sure. And but what we're talking about, like this would be a good way to overcome if we weren't already here where we're at in society now, where basically the losers have already manipulated society to the point to where, like, just look at the world today. Like, if you are an alpha male, you become a target, and the fucking mob will try to destroy you. So, like, in today's world, it's like they're really. That's why I say we're slaves, because like there's you can't do anything about it because it's already too far gone. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna take a long time for it to reverse, if it ever reverses. And I honestly don't even think that it's gonna reverse in our lifetime. I think that the feminist, Marxist, communist bullshit has it like for me, the West is done. Like it's been
Yeah,
done.
for sure.
That's,
Well cooked.
that's why I'm like, dude, fuck this like grind set fucking. I'm gonna fucking you know jump through the hoops, keep this hamster wheel turn. I'm gonna do the bare fucking minimum just to survive and just enjoy the fucking shit show. Like I don't give a fuck about uh making it in this modern world because the only way to make it in this modern world is you have to basically bend over and spread your cheeks. And if you fuck me in the ass, you're gonna get poop on your dick.
Yeah, yeah, that's the whole thing is like a fucking it's like
We got
you can
anglers.
tell. Oh yeah, the actual angler, shit. I'd like to talk to him because there's just, man, I can't believe how many ghost accounts and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Is this actually Angler?
This is actually Angler. I have one fucking account.
Right
Okay.
on, brother.
These I just had a quick comment with David Smith in the comment section that these bitches are on a rampage.
Shit.
They're going nuts with this stuff. But yeah, I just got here, about 5 minutes ago and just started listening. And but yeah, yeah, I doubt this is going to change in our lifetime. I think the momentum is going too hard in that direction right now. I don't even know if it will change in my son's lifetime. I hope for him that it does. But, I'm not quite sure I have confidence in that either, so.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
you, bro.
I just want to elaborate on some real, it's sad to me because before I ever came in this quote unquote manosphere red pill space,
Mhm.
or women, or looking at the perspective of quote unquote feminism and what it's done to the world,
Mhm.
I was taking the red pill, understanding, who runs the world, the power structure, who's the what the fuck was the movie Wizard of Oz? Who's the man behind the curtain, right? That's what I was always interested in. And I got, let's just say I got my hands on sources and people who are laying out information that no one was talking about. The Alex Jones, the Joe Rogan, the Tim Pool, the Tim Fool, all of these weenies that are shills. They tell you the truth 95% of the time, and then they'll leave the 5% out. And that 5% is a make or break for the world.
Crucial.
Yeah,
Yes.
crucial. I've taken sources like these people that are exposing why the Silicon Valley Bank crashed. I've taken these same sources that expose why Just Pearly Things is just climbing through the ranks, why Kevin Samuels climbed through the ranks. There's an entire science that the military runs that promotes the weirdos like Andrew Tate, like John Tran style Anthony, and the rest of them. I've just laid it out there, and everybody just looks at me like I got shit on my face. And I'm not saying, hey, buy into my truth. There's only one truth. The truth is not subjective. If we don't wrap our minds around who's really running the show, they're just going to keep us slaves fighting each other, and these people are going to keep winning. And I don't want to be right. I wish I was fucking wrong. But everybody looks at me like I got shit on my face. And I'm like, okay, if that's the case, then I can just go in Poopy Buttholes camp, laugh my ass off as everything around me is just crumbling. And I could say, fuck it. I could turn the spiritual rebellious side of me towards evil off, and I can just lay down and have a good fucking laugh if you guys don't want to pull your heads out of your ass. So that's why I'm here, to have a good laugh and to say, hey, if you don't want to take the information, then fuck it. I'm going to enjoy the shit show while I'm here.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it, man. Because I tried to tell people and wake people up, like when I was getting like bent over in the family courts, like I would like tell my own family, like, "Look, dude, this is so fucked up," and like nobody wants to hear it. Like nobody wants to know how bad it really is. They can't handle it because what it is, dude, is they can't, like, in order for the masses to acknowledge how fucked everything is, they've got to acknowledge that they are slaves, and they've like wrapped their identities around this idea that they're important and special. And in order for them to acknowledge reality, they have to let that go, and they're just not going to do it. So at this point, I'm just like, fuck this shit. I'm just going to fucking do this.
At a time when we all need to become unified, we're being so divided.
Well, a part of me is like okay with the division because I don't like, if people aren't gonna wake up, I don't really give a fuck about them because it's like they're like literally just dead weight at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I guess the optimistic part of me is like there's a way back, but just like we talked about, just what 2-3 minutes ago, like it's going too hard in that direction, and that's really not a possibility at this point in time.
Hey, Angler, you got to quit feeding the trolls, dude. They fucking follow you everywhere.
Well, right now I'm just kind of having a little bit of fun with them, just exposing them a little bit, and I eventually will. I'm not addicted to them, but
yeah, for sure. I mean, the way these troll accounts are, like, it really shows, like, this is how like most people are. Like, if you show the world that you don't give a fuck about the mainstream narrative, and that you know what I'm saying, like, they start doing this shit, they start fucking becoming creepy fucking weirdos following you around and shit, like, especially women, dude. Like, if you ever dump a chick, it sometimes it hurts her ego so bad that she like will fucking stalk you and try to ruin your life just so she can feel better about it, dude. It's fucked up.
A lot of time on the hands to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, they have no soul.
Yeah. That is one thing that I have learned, is how fucking weird they can get. I mean, this is the type of shit that I've only read about before. like in books and, articles online, but never really experienced. And now I'm experiencing them and I'm like, holy shit, this is real.
Yeah, that's why like when all of that like manosphere like arguments were going on with like guys like thinking it's okay to let women in the manosphere, like you don't really understand how fucked up the modern woman is if you think that's a good idea. Like that's like where I'm coming from with that shit. Like these
Right
bitches
on.
these
Yeah.
bitches are fucked, bro. Like we're talking like full blown narcissistic sociopaths, dude.
Yes, exactly. They can't stop. They have um, no idea what a boundary is. You can tell them a dozen times, leave me alone, and they won't. They
Have you
just
guys
keep.
ever seen that video of the guy? He's like an Uber driver and he's like dropping off that woman and she won't get out of his car.
I've seen
I think I
several.
caught that.
That's like literally what it's like trying to break up with a modern Western female. Like they
Oh,
won't just fucking take the L and get the fuck out of your car.
Yeah.
yeah, I was taking it was taking me months. Like I was talking to Frost, like I'm just like, dog, like I, I mean, I was just you guys gotta understand. I made this girl cry on her birthday like 2 years in a row. Um, and that's not to say I did it on purpose. She was just acting out, and I was just like, I just said it shit how it really was, and then what the fuck? Oh yeah, the same place that I like eat breakfast at, that I go to almost every fucking day, and everyone knows me by name there. I literally called this chick to her face a Babylonian beast, and I raised my hands in the air. I said, I said, you don't understand. You're a Babylonian beast. And I literally put both my fists up in the air, and it like it shook off the fucking walls like it was vibrating this whole fucking breakfast joint. And people
Mhm.
like looked over, and I'm like, I don't know what to say to you guys. I'm dealing with an animal here.
Yep.
Yeah, it really, dude. I saw this meme one time. It was like, the devil doesn't come to you in horns and red skin. He comes to you in everything you think you want. And it was like a picture of a guy like laying in bed with his girlfriend, but the girlfriend is like looking at the camera and she's got like demon eyes and shit. Like
Yep.
I was like, dude, that's so fucking true. That's why like of
Yeah.
course I'm not gay, so like I'm not like a MGTOW monk. Like I'll get some strange every now and then, but like a lot of times, dude, like when I look at a woman, like I don't care how sexy she is, like a part of me will always know in the back of my mind, like that's fucking Jeffrey Dahmer in a female body. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I look at them now, dude. Like they're fucking crazy.
They have the ability to completely fuck your world up in a pretty short amount of time.
Well, they're parasitic, dude. Like they don't like men. Like we naturally have like if you want to look at it like a battery, like we can naturally charge our own batteries. These modern women's souls have been devoured by feminists and all the cocks that have ran through them. That
Yep.
they can't charge their own batteries. They have to leech onto us and like absorb our energy to stay alive, dude.
They're receivers.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. Just to touch on what we kind of were saying maybe a few minutes ago with women in the quote unquote manosphere. If it's the manosphere, it should truly be the logic sphere. When you bring women in, you're taking emotion and you're putting it into the equation. So naturally, the logic and the sense is going to drop when you have feminine energy in the space. And let's throw it out here. If you're a dude who still has some beta male scent mangina running through your veins, you're
Mhm.
also going to be emotional. You're also going to be basically like a placeholder for a woman. Think that, hey, if we get all the women out of the manosphere, what are we going to have to deal with next? The weak ass fucking men who typically seek validation. Like, I'm just getting disgusted because I'm seeing it all around me.
Mhm.
When men put all their stock in their success or unsuccess with women, and that's their self-esteem level, and they don't focus on intrinsic building their skills and abilities, like being able to put such funny content together, like fucking poopy butthole's doing. Those are skills and abilities that will be with him for the rest of his life, where
Yes.
he can keep making people laugh over and over
Fucking
and over.
hilarious.
You know,
Yeah.
like that's what men should be focusing on, not
Mhm.
the moving goalpost if a woman likes you or not.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's a solid point. Yes.
Well, it's like what you said about the beta males, dude. When you're dealing with a beta male, it really is a female in a man's body. Like just like I said, how these women need to leech off us to recharge the batteries. That's how beta males are too. Like they can't validate themselves, so they have to validate themselves through other men's,
Mhm.
And what happens with that is like in the manosphere, the beta males, it's just like how women got rights in the first place, dude. If you let beta males think that they are on the same level as like the alpha males, uh, they're going to be the ones that let these fucking women in here and ruin
Ticks
it.
and fleas. Ticks and fleas.
Yeah, that's a good line right there.
But yeah, it really is the same thing. It's like that's why as like a man, you have to like if you're still a beta male, you have to like be honest with yourself
Mhm.
and then overcome it. Like, cause no man, simping for your favorite content creator isn't going to help you. It's not going to do anything.
No, it's not at all. And that's one thing I've come to realize is that there are going to be females up in here from time to time, and you just have to, I guess, what, be self-aware and careful when it happens. And I have not been that way in the past, but I certainly am now.
Well,
It's going to happen.
we're all programmed from birth to be a fucking blue pill simp. So like when you take the red pill, like that
Mhm.
your entire life of blue pill conditioning isn't gonna go away overnight. Like it takes a while.
Well, you know what? One thing too that I think about, which I will never surrender to. I mean, I've been a monk going on probably 4 years now. To each their own. I'm not saying anybody should be that or whatever. I mean, y'all go do your own thing. But if these women were actually respectful, respectable, nice, if they knew their place, there'd be no problem with being a so-called blue pillar or whatever. And I don't think any of that would really even matter because, things would just fall into their natural order the way they're supposed to. But they've become fucking evil.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if society wasn't the way it is, like there would be no point for any of these channels. Like there would be no point for the manosphere. Like
We wouldn't be having this discussion. Exactly.
yeah, and that's like the struggle. Like a lot of I'm seeing in the manospheres, a lot of guys are trying to like find a new purpose now that they've accepted that this is the way things are now. But the message I'm trying to get across is the idea that there is a purpose is the fucking trap in the first place, dude. That's how we got in this position in the first place. They told us that we got to do all this shit to keep the hamster wheel turning so we could have purpose. When really
Right.
the only purpose in life is just to be. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Like you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
just
You coexist, you have babies, and be happy.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly that's how we're supposed to be. But this system it relies on men's slavery to keep going.
Yeah.
There's 2 points I want to touch on. The first point is for the beta male simp manginus. They need to accept that they are sheep and that we are shepherds. We can help pull their heads out of their asses, but they have to understand that life can only be validated from within. So that purpose that you're describing, the purpose that they got to us to try to buy into was the biological purpose to be slaves, to keep propping up this system And it's crazy because there's an interview that I've been trying to share with everybody, but they look at me like I got shit on my face. A lady from 1997 whose husband was a chief of staff to the commandant of the Marines. He was really high up in the military. She was just laid it all out there. She said, yeah, they built up the Western world. They had this industrial revolution so that they could procure enough technology to lock the world down. So everything that you've been, preaching, Ghost, it is fucking spot on. But let's get back to that purpose. Every single one of us has been naturally gifted at something. That was given to you from something greater than man. It naturally occurred. You just woke up one day and, like, not to say that you became really good with music, but you had an interest and you pursued it. And the bottom line is this: fuck the biological purpose. If there's any purpose that we have as slaves, it comes from some sort of creator, the creator that made these things easier for us. And what did you do with your purpose? You took this music, you took the animation, you took the comedy, you mixed it all together, and you're actually providing something very good for the world. That, to me, is like your creator-driven purpose. You're going to be naturally good at something. What can you do that is going to, how can I say, divorce yourself from your biology, essentially?
Right, and that's what I'm trying to get everyone in the manosphere to tap into, this like creativity that I've tapped into, because anybody can do it. I'm not special, dude. It's just I just found the way to tap into it. And that's why I was bringing up that Nietzsche shit, because he talks about, like, there's three stages to becoming an Ubermensch, the Superman. And the first stage is the camel, which is basically the fucking workhorse, basically NPC blue pill simp. And then that's when you, like, your life is your life's purpose is derived from being a servant, which there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. Like, like monks and priests and, like, religious people, like, they find purpose in, like, religion and shit like that. But if you're not satisfied with that, you have to escape that. And the next stage in that process is the lion, which is basically the unhinged alpha male. But there's even a step past that, which is the child, which is basically when you become the child in the transformation, it's like returning to your original nature and just laughing and being like, you're so disconnected from the blue pill matrix that, like, you are able to create your own path within the matrix. And the way to do it is you have to let go of everything you believe in. You have to become a nihilist. And then once you become a nihilist, you create your own values. Because
There was a black, my bad.
I was just going to say, modern day Christianity has been is the main religion in the West, and it's been totally hijacked by fucking blue pill bullshit. So, like, if you're a Christian still operating off of your like childhood Christian beliefs, you're living in slave mentality. You have to let that go and create a new core belief system. And then you'll get to a point where you can make videos about fucking your grandma and not give a shit who has a problem with it.
Sure.
Yeah, all the holidays are pagan, and they're based around consumerism, which is based around gynocentrism, which is based around feminism. So you keep peeling back the layers of that onion, and you get to the base of it, and you're like, oh, it's another one of you pieces of shit.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. I think nowadays it's become really, really, really based around consumerism.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. The best movie ever is fucking Fight Club because of Tyler Durden. Like Tyler Durden is an example of the fucking lion in the Ubermensch process. Like, he's the unhinged alpha male, but if you watch that movie, at the end of the movie, he, like, loses his shit Like before you lose your shit as the unhinged alpha male, you got to return to the child, so that way you can not get in prison, basically.
You're not your
Yeah.
fucking khakis.
Right.
Yeah, there's something I think that you have really highlighted on that a lot of guys need to wrap their fucking head around. The ultimate black pill, accepting the black pill for what it is not nihilism. There was a stream that Sir Yitas did a while back, and he had this big ass panel, and it kind of got out of hand. And some actual black pillars showed up who weren't doom and gloom, who were, in their opinions and from the sound of their voices, these guys were really upbeat. They were actually living a better life than what everyone was trying to project onto them. So it's like this whole fucking misconception. The truth is the truth is the truth. It hurts. It's really difficult to accept. But when you finally accept it, you transform into something greater because of the fact that you're truly free at that point.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, when you can honestly not give a fuck if people like you or not. That's true freedom, dude. Not
Yep.
giving a fuck, and dude, what it basically like the final message like I'm trying to put out there is, it's not cool to be cool, because like if you're fucking the coolest guy in the world, like you're like Andrew Tate, like he's got that I'm a hustle, grind, pimp, top G mindset. All I see when I see him is
I'm
this.
a hustler, always on my grind, taking hella dicks up my loose behind.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
It's like being the top G in this fucking degenerate fucking piece of shit world. Like, who gives a fuck about that, dude?
Right.
And I
Yeah,
feel like if a
your
lot of
point-
people, I feel like if the whole manosphere adopted that idea, it would be way better, dude. Like, we need to just go full retard and just fucking shit on this fucking stupid ass world. Like, I'm so done trying to fucking save it. Like, I don't give a fuck anymore, dude.
Yeah, your point about people caring what motherfuckers think about them. I'll bring up the same place that I fucking eat breakfast at, right? So there's this old turd that was in front of me, taking forever to fucking pay, right? At one register. And then right next to them was like this younger couple. And as soon as I walked in, like out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl wearing yoga pants. I could tell she had a little bit of curvature to her, but I did not look, and I don't look at them anymore in the sense of to validate them. I'll acknowledge that it's a human being standing there, but I don't need to know any more than that because I already know what the game is. I could make her entire day if I look at her. And I'm not trying to do that. Fuck that. And then her dude's standing there, and I start to see his body language change. You know, these dudes mate guarding, where they see some guy who might be taller, who might be better looking, whatever the fuck it is, they start to get in their emotions. And I seen this guy, he's starting to get real restless. Like he's kind of like moving around and shit. He wasn't trying to block the view of that booty, but he was just fidgeting a little bit. And then I saw her look back at me, and I'm still looking straight ahead. I'm like the fucking Terminator in this place. I'm looking straight ahead. I'm not looking at you retards. Nope, not looking at either of you retards. The dude wanted me to look over like, yeah, look at my bitch. And the bitch wanted me to look over like, yeah, look at my ass. And then when I go to sit down with the older dude that I like chop it up with, I said, watch this shit. And I'm just sitting there, right? I'm eating this fucking bag or whatever. And the dude gets up to go grab the food. And then within 20 seconds of him getting up, she gets up, walks right in front of the both of us, turns around like she's a model just to show off her figure. And I'm like, man, this world is fucking done. You fucking imbecile retards. If you died within that next second, I wouldn't give a fuck. I don't care about you fucking idiot, retard, degenerate slaves. Like, why the fuck are you even here today? Like, I was just thinking to myself, like, God damn, is the world that bad that everyone cares so much about everybody else and what they think of them?
Mhm.
Yeah,
She's
well,
showing
what
she's showing her ass like a for hypergamy, and he's showing his ass like a rooster because he's getting pissed off.
Yeah, it's just these people are fucking. They have cancer in the mind. Like they're brain dead. Fucking like I was just like, dude, why do you fucking retards have to come where I just keep to myself? You know, when I'm keeping to myself, I don't
Yeah,
want people to try to fucking, hey, look at me. You should look over at me. Nah, fuck that. I don't care about you, dude. Like, go
you
fucking run in front of a bus.
you just want your little place to go and
Yeah, that's why social media is
eat
fucking
your bagel or
retarded.
whatever, and yeah, it's fucking stupid, bro.
Because it's like social media is basically that situation you just talked about, but 24 fucking 7. Like
Yeah.
that's literally all it is.
24/7. Yes, it's everywhere.
But the thing
That's
is,
why.
dude, like
I, oh, I'm
hypergamy
sorry.
and
Go ahead,
women
Bill.
showing off their asses, like that shit's nature. Like there's nothing wrong with hypergamy of its own. It's it's our society that is like wants to pretend like that's not what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yep. That's why I've learned to really adopt, accept, and really learn to like my solitude. Um, that was a big adjustment, learning to be alone for most of my time. But, when I get on here and see what I see and, and I learn things from that, and then I see it out in public, and I'm like, I don't want any of this shit. I just want to go home and drink a cup of tea.
I just want to go home and beat off and control my biology.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's why like what we're talking about now, like with the anti-natalists, it's like they believe that it's immoral to bring people here because this world's a fucking retarded fucking jungle joke, and it is.
Mhm.
And it's like it probably wouldn't be so fucked up because it's like we're raised with the blue pill conditioning, and then you take the
Mhm.
red pill and you realize, dude, this world is just one big giant fucking lie. Like what's really going on here is
Yep.
completely different than when everyone is trying to pretend that it is. And
Oh,
it makes it to where you can't really fucking talk to regular people without bullshitting them.
yep.
And that's why it's fucking stupid.
You gotta
We're
lie.
we're far too regulated. We're fucked with too much. Um, we're made to not like each other. And yeah,
Yeah, you're touching on, I think, the most important point, Angler. I can't fucking stand seeing this. It's let's compete. That's what they teach you in slave school. Hey, how about we fucking cooperate as the fucking tax cattle retarded slaves that we are? We don't have any other chance.
right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Yep.
Cause like that's how they get you to fucking keep the hamster wheel turning. Is like if you keep that hamster wheel turning faster than Johnny at machine 25, uh, you'll be able to move up in the world. And it's like moving up in the world is you just go from a plantation slave to a house nigger. Like it doesn't really fucking matter.
Right. Yep.
Fucked up, man.
So that's why I just say, we just all got to do this.
In farts we trust.
Yeah.
In parts we trust. That's a t-shirt.
Yeah, Bupo made a good point. They tell you that friends are extremely rare. Most of your friends aren't your friends. And that's something I learned, dude. Like people people will act like they're cool with you until like you inconvenience them or make them have to face the reality that they are a slave too. Like they're gonna hold on to their "I'm an important" mindset before they hold on to your friendship. You know what I mean?
Ego.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. The
And
stuff
that's
we
why-
talk about around here, I've noticed, is really hard to talk about with my friends. Now, I've got one friend that listens to me on here from time to time. He knows who I am, and he's pretty much down with it. I got another friend who's been my best friend for well over 30 years. He's not quite there. And so, that becomes a little difficult. So, I hope to God, that never goes sideways, because I love this guy. He's helped me out in hard times before. And, but yeah, it's really hard to talk about with other people. They just don't get it. Just like you said, people look at you like you got shit on your face.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
This
they-
thought process. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say they don't want to know. I think they like being blue pill.
Blissfully ignorant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, or just being set in their ways. They're comfortable, and they don't want to transition out of that.
They want to be
I'm
this
a
guy.
hustler, always on my grind, taking hella dicks up my loose behind.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
one thing I would say, if I'm going to focus on in the future as far as producing content, I'm always going to repost Dan Pena content, because he's fucking hilarious and he lets pretty much everybody know how fucking worthless they are, and it's just kind of funny. But besides that, the most important thing that I can offer is the absolute thought process versus the abstract thought process. And I got to shout out to SCE, because he kind of helped me hone in on this. And if it wasn't for him, it probably would have took me a few more years, maybe 10 years. But it's just like understanding that when you're a tax cattle slave, they need you to think in absolutes. You have to buy the absolute lie. That lie constricts your mind to where there's like a bounds that you have to be within. Thinking about a football field, the absolute truth that they try to get you to buy into is the football field. Your mind is only allowed to play within those bounds. If you step outside of bounds, no more play, and that's abstract thought. That's mental freedom. So I'm gonna keep really hammering on this shit. I talked to SCE for a very long time about this, so I'm just gonna kind of present it to the fucking world for what it is. It doesn't matter if you're a man. It doesn't matter if you're a woman. You're a tax cattle slave, and you were trained to think in absolutes. And let's throw it out here. What is the most absolute thought process a human being could ever have? I'm gonna let you guys take a guess.
I have no idea.
Well,
Wait.
for one, I'll just start off by saying that SCE is a very brilliant man. Whenever he's
Yeah, he's
speaking and I'm in his presence, I read and listen very intently, because everything he says, there's something there.
I mean, the only absolute I can think of.
So on a serious note, if Angler, do you want to throw your hat in the ring as far as like what's the most absolute thought that they need us to accept?
You're special and important.
That's up there. What do you think? You got any answers, any
Well,
guesses, Angler, before I drop the heat?
I think it's that they care about us.
Benevolence, that could be one of them. I'd say those two are very close to what I'm about to say, but enough suspense already. The most absolute thought. Go ahead, Angler.
I think the most absolute thing is that we need to be left alone. We need to. They need to stop regulating us so much. They need to let us sort things out between one another. I mean, there's a million
I
and one
think you're
things.
missing. I think you're missing where I'm like coming from. As in, what thought process does the people who run the world need us to buy into in order to remain gullible slaves?
Oh, well, Jesus Christ, I don't think that we should be buying into anything to make us gullible slaves.
And I don't either. But the number one thing that they force down pretty much the majority of the world's fucking throat, pause, no homo, is that the creator of everything would waste its time rematerializing itself as a man to be God in man form. That's the most absolute thought you could ever have, that God is man. And when they do this, they convince us that we can be our own little gods with these big but fragile egos. And it's like, you fucking retards.
Yeah, I know some religious people that they think that God needs their help. Like it's their duty to like spread the message because God is like recruiting them to help him. Like it's like if God is real, he does not give the slightest fuck about what you're doing for his cause. Like he doesn't need your help at all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're right on that. Like they want people to have this false sense of power. Because that's exactly what it is, dude. That's why you got these fucking guys doing this.
Yep. You know, I had a
always on my grind, taking hella dicks up my loose behind.
I had a conversation with my best friend. It's been some time ago, and we were talking about religion. And he, he identifies as Christian, but he doesn't go to church. And I was like, well, why don't you go to church? And he said, well, my relationship with God is a personal thing. I don't need to go to church. Whether or not of what you believe, that made sense to me. I respected that. He's doing it on a personal level. So yeah, I guess that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I feel
And
like if you're
another-
going to be religious, that's the best way to do it because blue pill, like modern day blue pill church, it's slave morality, dude. Like it's not like the original message of the Bible was more like based in red pill. But they've got it so watered down nowadays. It's literally just it's like the turn the other cheek. It's like, no, you slap me in the face. I'm not just going to turn the other cheek. I'm going to shit on your fucking forehead. Like
the New Testament is what got seriously cucked out. There's books within the Old Testament that they forget about, wink wink, that say literally a shameless woman is a dog, should be counted as spit, literally.
Bupo made a good point. He said, I feel like TV shows were meant to brainwash us because they were just showing us scenarios and situations that were super blue pill.
Oh,
They never
absolutely.
play out like on TV shows.
I believe that for sure. That's just getting worse.
Yeah, they write these scripts like intentionally to keep the fucking gynocentric narrative going.
Yep. And isn't it crazy how that works? Just by simply watching something on the screen, it will change your thinking or direct your thinking.
Like, even in commercials, it's like the only time you see a guy in a commercial is if he's like a cucked out, like like you know what I mean? Like where like he's either being like dominated by his wife or he's just there to be like a Captain Save-A-Ho or
A
you know what I
Yep.
mean?
dunce.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, it happens all the time. It's everywhere. I was raised in the Roman Catholic Church. I mean, I had to go to, I had to get confirmed and all that. And after I was confirmed, my parents said, okay, now you're confirmed. If you want to go to church, that's up to you. But I remember going through these classes and the shaming tactics. One that I'll bring up, I don't want this to be weird or, TMI or anything like that. But there's one class that sticks out in my mind, and it was the shaming of masturbation. That if you go home and, jerk off in private, you're going. But yeah, that was one of the classes that I had to sit through. And I'm just like, holy shit, I'm going to hell.
Yeah, they want you fucking these bitches raw so that you knock them up and then you're fucking on the hook.
Yep.
That's exactly
Yeah,
what it is.
it got kind of weird. And I was glad when I was able to get out of that. It just, I had to be an altar boy for a little while. I mean, luckily I was never messed with by a priest or anything like that. But yeah, that shit got kind of weird.
Yeah, it's total like the fucking modern day church is totally cucked out, dude. Like all the main shit they teach in the church, like they ignore all the like based red pill content in the Bible, but they want to like push all the shit that they can use to push a gynocentric narrative. That's the shit they want to talk about and focus on.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Last time I was in church, I almost beat the fuck up out of this simp father. Basically, I had a family member because I'm Orthodox. I had a family member who passed away, and there was a memorial service for that family member. So I drove a few hours to go to this service, and in the communion line, because to take communion, you're supposed to like live like as sin free as possible that entire week, and then you're supposed to go up to all the people that you transgressed upon and ask for their forgiveness, right? That's what it used to be, right?
Or you're not worthy for the communion. Yes.
Yeah. So check this out. As I'm standing there and I look over, I see these two streetwalkers. Literally, they had to have been prostitutes. They were maybe, I don't know. They had to have been, they couldn't have been legal adults, but they were prostitutes. Because these two had fucking, they had skirts where basically their asses were falling out of the bottom. And their simp father was standing right behind him, like proud to have whores inside the church. And I wanted to take one of those baptismal candles that are like 3 inches thick, those massive candles that probably weigh 10 pounds. I just wanted to take it over his fucking bald fucking head, that fucking moron.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to teach you that like you have to explain yourself to this society or you are unaccepted. Like that's like the subconscious message they're trying to send you. Like if you do anything wrong, you have to come to us and tell us about it, or you're not accepted into this blue pill world.
Well, maybe a couple of nuns should have came and removed those two girls, taken them aside, maybe into a side room or something.
And shit in their mouth.
Yeah. I'll give you guys more evidence. So I had a family member of mine. She got married. This was out of state, and I was unaware, but she's my third cousin, ended up marrying the priest of this church that my other cousin got married in. So I'm sitting at the reception at the table with my cousin, which I don't think I even ever met this cousin of mine. I got a pretty large family, and the priest. And we start talking about the Bible and, the way things are today. And I was pretty much throwing it out there that women should be virtuous. That's their nature. And men's nature is to be righteous. And I could tell that she was wearing the pants. And basically, my cousin runs the fucking church. This guy's just a fucking punk pushover. And the reason I say this is this. He straight up told me, you should stop reading the book of Revelations. I'm like, huh? What the fuck are you talking about, retard?
Stop
And then he
reading
says
the
to me,
Bible. Okay.
yeah, then he tells me, yeah, Adam, because I guess that's like the proper way to say it. Adam didn't have a penis. He didn't have a vagina. He's a question mark. He was trying to get me to like buy into this shit. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, dog, do you want me to flip this table and like flip this table on you and start jumping on it like I'm a fucking gorilla? And then and I sorry to cut you off, Angler, and I'll throw this out there.
No, you're good. You're good.
Islam is just as fucked. So it's like about 20 minutes away from me. There's this Arab like market. You could buy chicken by the pound, rice by the pound, just all sorts of shit that saves me a lot of time from having to cook and fucking prepare, because meal prep and shit, that takes time. So I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going to go buy this rice. I'm going to get this chicken. You know what I'm saying? And as I'm in there, the owner recognized me because he's seen me a couple of times. Like, hey, how's it going, man? I'm like, oh, not too bad. He's sitting down with a Muslim imam. They're priests. And I'm like, I just got back from the family wedding, and I'm like, oh man, I guess I'm gonna have to ask this fucking Muslim imam and see what he has to say, because let's face it, the Abrahamic religions all stem from Genesis, the creation of men and women, and the whole, beginning to the Bible is the same for all three religions: Islam, Christianity, Judaism. So I'm like, let me go ask this dude, hey, what's the relationship between men and women? Who comes first? Who's the head? Who's the leader? He says, today that we believe that men and women are equal. I just got so fucking sick to my stomach. I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you retards?
Feminism is spreading like a plague, bro.
Yeah, dude, like the reason I even make these videos to even bitch about it, it's like, I know it's never going to change, but basically what we're living in is a world where it's almost illegal to be a masculine man. Like if you want to like be your true self as a man in the modern world, you have to like do it in secret. Like you can't think like a red pill masculine man in the world.
Oh no, you got to be real careful with it. If you say the wrong thing in front of a woman, all she has to do is dial 911. She will be believed, and you will go away in bracelets, and then you'll have to prove yourself in court.
Yeah, so it's like
You got to be real careful.
you just have to like. There's no fixing society, but what I want to do is I want to find out like what men are doing to like stay true to themselves while navigating this shit. Like we all know what the problem is. We all know it's fucked up, but it's like, okay, now that we know that, let's start fucking cheating the system and fucking if we got
Solutions.
if we got to break some rules, I don't even give a fuck about the law at this point, dude. Like I don't give a shit, bro. Like
Careful, homie.
well, they can fucking cancel my channel. They can come to my house. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm just to the point now where it's just like fuck this shit, bro. Like, we all know it's fucked. Like,
I know. I feel very similar.
yeah, it's just like the only thing that's keeping me sane is butthole jokes, dude.
Well, you know what? Those butthole jokes are keeping. I think they're keeping a lot of us sane as well.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
This guy is fucking hilarious, dude. This is like the funniest shit
I'm a
ever.
hustler, always on my grind, taking hella dicks up my loose behind.
Like that's who they want us all to be.
Yeah, it's fucking. Oh man.
Yeah, dude. I'm like to the point now where it's just like, dude, I'm just gonna do the bare minimum to like make sure I have a roof over my head, and I'm just gonna like jerk off and make fucked up memes about like guys complaining, getting fucked in the ass by the government. Like, who gives a shit at this point? But hey, fellas, I'm gonna get off here and go beat off. Do you have any final thoughts before I quit stream?
Oh, that's TMI, bro.
What do you mean?
That's what I mean.
Oh, let's see the guy in the fucking hamster wheel again.
Everybody loves that guy.
I'm a hustler, always on my grind, taking hella dicks up my loose behind.
That's like
You go do what you got to do. Get a good nutritious meal. Drink plenty of water. But I do not want to know about your bed sport.
No, I don't believe you, dude.
Fuck.
Oh shit! I appreciate you having me on, Poopy Butthole. Good talking to you, Angler.
Hey, you too, man. Take it easy, bro.
You guys stay sexy. I'm gonna leave you guys with this before we go.
We some real pimps, nigga. Having sex with a mom, nigga. We some real SGs, ho. Figure asshole with the dildo. Have you ever put your finger so far up your butt that your daddy got turned on and he called you a slut? Started twisting on your titties and farting in your mouth. Put this finger in his butthole while he fucking the couch. Watch my mouth pussy taste like the dog dick. Like the dog dick. Watch my mouth pussy taste like the dog dick. Like the dog dick. Cows go moo while I'm milking on the tits. Horses neigh while I'm sucking on the dicks. Shit gets real on my daddy's farm. I put animal semen in my Lucky Charms. Grandma's queen, second wing in the wind. Get it, granny. Show what you got with them pussy farts, bitch. At my daddy's farm, he got pigs, cows, and sheep. We be putting our dicks in them super fucking deep. We some real pimps, nigga. Having sex with a mom, nigga. We some real SGs, ho. Figure asshole with the dildo. Watch my mouth pussy taste like the dog's dick. Like the dog's dick. Watch my mouth pussy taste like the dog's dick. Like the dog's dick. Cows go moo while I'm milking on the tits. Horses neigh while I'm sucking on the dicks. Shit gets real on my daddy's farm. I put animal semen in my Lucky Charms. Grandma's queen, second wing in the wind. Get it, granny. Show what you got with them pussy farts, bitch. We some real pimps, nigga. Having sex with a mom, nigga. We some real SGs, ho. Figure asshole with the dildo.